Okay, Blackburn, Newcastle in the FA Cup. I mean, wow. It went to penalties. It finished 1-1 after extra time. Both goals came in the second half of the 90 minutes. It's finished 4-3 on penalties to Newcastle. That is, it's not a nice way to go out of a competition on penalties, but that has got to be the best performance I've seen the Blackburn side put it in over a decade since we were a Premier League side. I think we played better tonight than we did against Wrexham. We were the better side in the first half. Newcastle were shocking in the first half. And until Anthony Gordon's goal, Newcastle weren't great. They looked laboured. They looked leggy. They looked, no, I wouldn't say disinterested, but they were second best in the 50-50 challenges. Blackburn had created the better chances for the first 70 minutes. The first half we had more shots on goal. Dubravka has had a very, very good game in goal for Newcastle, and Ainsley Pears for us. I mean, that double save in at the end, I mean, is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. To take it to a penalty shootout, I mean, there was some brilliant play. I mean, Szmodics was out on his feet when he took his penalty, and Hyam, I mean, he's the captain. I mean, he's taking the responsibility, and I'm not angry with the team at all. I'm not angry with the players that missed the penalties, because penalties is, as we say, a lottery. But the game itself, I mean, the two goals, I mean, Almiron coming on, I think, was needed. I'm surprised they didn't start with Almiron, Eddie Howe's men. I'm surprised that they didn't start him from the beginning. I'm also surprised they didn't bring him on at half time after the first half when Newcastle were so poor. He does create the goal for Anthony Gordon. That's one of the few times Blackburn switched off defensively. It's a very well taken goal, but Anthony Gordon up to that point had opportunities, but they weren't clinical enough, and it was the first time they really attacked with pace. Because until that point they had been a bit laboured in the build-up, sloppy in the build-up. But then the Szmodics goal, I mean, Sigurdsson does very, very well to cut the ball in size. One of the Blackburn substitutes has pinged the ball off the bar, and Szmodics is followed in brilliantly to slot home his sixth goal in the FA Cup this season. His 24th of the season. He's the top goal scorer in the Championship. So it was a proper striker's finish. Follow up. Always want to win the second ball. He does win the second ball. To be fair, Dubravka does get something on the initial shot to push it onto the bar, which is actually a very good save. But Szmodics is quicker to the ball than the Newcastle defenders. So that's 1-1. And then the game really opens up. Anyone who says extra time is generally boring hasn't watched, this game or the Leicester-Bournemouth game, because Leicester beat Bournemouth 1-0 in extra time. This game came to life. It became very open. Both Dubravka and Pears, both goalkeepers, I think, were the best players for me on the pitch, because the amount of saves they pulled out the hat. The double save from Pears is ridiculous in extra time. Absolutely ridiculous. But Dubravka's had to be called upon to get Newcastle to the penalty shootout. Same with Ainsley Pears. I mean, Martin Dubravka's had a brilliant game. There's a reason why he's one of the best Premier League goalkeepers. I think he's an underrated goalkeeper. And Ainsley Pears has had a fantastic match in net for us. I mean, it's a shame, obviously, that we've had two penalties saved, but they were tired penalties. When you get to a penalty shootout, but they were tired-looking penalties. I mean, Ainsley Pears has saved a Newcastle penalty as well. Both teams are out on their feet. I mean, Newcastle have had a lot of injuries this season. Tamori's still suspended, so they've had issues with suspension and injury. We've just had issues of not having a good couple of months. The last few months, the festive period has derailed our season, and so form-wise we are struggling. But to take Premier League sides who were in the Champions League this season to extra time and penalties, I have no worries that John Eustace will keep us up. Newcastle, they do need to improve. I mean, they've got players coming back. Tamori will probably be back before the end of the season from his suspension. But Newcastle, I have concerns about Newcastle, their squad depth. Um, some of these players are looking really tired. I mean, but the last time Newcastle faced Blackburn at this stage in the FA Cup, they went on to the FA Cup final. So maybe the FA Cup could be a gateway to get some momentum, but Newcastle definitely need to play much better if they're to get back up the league table a little bit. They're not that far off the European places, but they do need to play better than what they dished up tonight and what they've dished up the last couple of months. They've looked out of sorts. Maybe the FA Cup can be a catalyst for some momentum on the Blackburn side of things. I think the performance we put in tonight, the commitment and the work rate was something that was lacking under John Dale Thomason. I think John Eustace has got the lads playing in a much better way. I don't think we've lost a game yet in 90 minutes since he's taken over. I think it will be a matter of time before performances do results come. But we can focus on our league form now. But that was actually a really entertaining game, even though I've got a lot of friends who are Newcastle fans. I've got a lot of subscribers who are Newcastle fans, and I've always had a soft spot for Newcastle United, but they do have to play much better if they're to get anything out of this season. As a Blackburn fan, I've got a lot of hope for the rest of this season that we can climb up the table and have a respectable end of season finish. But I think John Eustace is a very shrewd appointment, and it's a shame we've had to go out on penalties, but it's been a fun little cup run, and we didn't lose in 90 minutes, so I think the curse of the TV's done. We had a really good game against Wrexham on the TV, so I think we've overcome the curse of the live TV game. Other games tonight, Luton got hammered by Man City 6-2, Haaland scored 5, and Leicester beat Bournemouth away 1-0. So there's been some interesting results this evening. 2 games went to extra time, and we'll have to see what's dished up in the remaining games left in the 5th round. But there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts in the comments section below. I'll have some more content for you very, very soon.